I've suffered mental health issues in the past from around about 1986, first breakdown I had then. It's been a sort of like lifelong process. I was suffering pretty bad for many years, going to work still. With the Royal Mail, I did a whole year without having a day off sick, but I was mentally bad. There were times where I didn't think I'd ever come out of it, and that is scary, because I had no control. I didn't know how to become happy and feel human again. Many times I felt so low, I was like dead. I felt dead. I just thought I wasn't alive. It was that bad. And the dark feelings were horrific. The reason why I needed to address my mental health is because I don't want to go back to where I have been with my bad breakdowns. I just don't want to go back there. It's like learning to swim after you've nearly drowned. You have to, because you know if you get stuck in a situation in being in deep water and you can't swim, you're more or less going to have the same problem again. The strategy of getting in early for intervention purposes, educational purposes, awareness and opportunities with ways to sustain good mental health is very important.
I'd say I'm very bubbly. Also, I like to do creative things and am very creative. And I enjoy music, I'm always hyper all the time. In year 7, I was so excited to move into secondary school, and I thought I was going to have such a good time, but I really didn't. Year 7 was okay until I had lots of problems with friendships and actually getting to the point where I got beaten up by a child for the way I look. Then in year 8 I got into some bad situations of getting suspended from school because of my behaviour. When I was in year 9 I had a lot of problems with bullying, and that was because of the way I looked. There was one night and someone said something about me, a comment about my appearance, and that was when I was that's just I'm done with everything. So I got taken into hospital for an overdose. I just remember after thinking I can't believe I've done this to myself, and it's actually got to the point where I've had to do that, and it was a hard time for me. I just felt like whatever I want to do when I was really ill was when I thought to myself, that's never going to happen now, because my life's just gone downhill and it's going to be like that forever, but that wasn't the case. I've had lots of counselling on eating, anxiety, mental health, and then now I've also got a mentor, Hayley, right there, and she takes me out every week. I don't think I'd still be here if I didn't have help. I think I would have been gone. I don't think I would have still been here if I didn't have the help that I got, which is actually quite scary to think about now, I guess. But I just don't think I would be here if it wasn't for the support I've got. I feel like every person that goes through mental health issues should have the support they need.
I was in the Midlands originally, grew up in the Midlands in Stoke-on-Trent, and made redundant from the pits, and I ended up getting a job at local Portbury Docks on a maintenance team. And I was put into a B&B in Clevedon, which is just up the motorway there, and Used to go in the local pub, hotel at night for my evening meal and a drink. I met my wife in that pub as it happened. She was working behind the bar. I thought, what a pleasant, lovely lady. Yeah, she's really sociable, friendly, which is good for a barmaid, isn't it? But that was her natural way anyway in life. As a person, she was totally sociable, family orientated, so friendly, chat to anybody, do anybody a favour, and she'd never have a bad word said about anybody. Really, she was so good. We were married for 22 years. Yeah, married in 1996 until she passed away in 2018. Yeah. After my wife died, the hospice came up with some support system. They had what they call buddy groups, where you could go in and mix with people of the same situations. And I just felt I didn't want that at the time. After the offers of the counselling and the buddy groups, and I refused that, I didn't want it. The local free paper was published in Weston, and on the front page was men in sheds at Weston Hospice Care. Bereaved men, come along and see if we can help you. Which is what I did. I turned up the very next day. The fact that the men in sheds is there to someone who wants it, it's so helpful. It gives you some sort of direction in life, if you like. It gives you something to do and something to think about, instead of being totally lonely and not knowing what to do. It's mental help. It does help us to feel belong to something or somebody, if you like. Otherwise we're just 10, 12 men, lonely men, not knowing what to do. It gives us a purpose. I think the grief subsides, sort of. It's still there in the back of your mind, obviously, all the time, but having that company, sharing the same problems, it helps. It helps with relieving the grief. It's always good to have some sort of place to reach out to, for want of a better word. If you need that help, you need to know where it is and how to access it. Else, again, you just don't know what to do.